In a beautiful but very warm Bethesda, Maryland tonight, it's Bethesda Big Train Baseball as they take on the Gaithersburg Giants, who are 2-1 against the season, looking for revenge after their last loss against them. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Big Train TV, Povich Field here in Bethesda, Maryland. Tyler Gallo and Ben Bobek with you tonight. As a pleasant good evening to you, wherever you may be. We're ready to get started here as the Big Train come in after beating the DC Grays 13-1 last night at the Washington Nationals Youth Academy. And Ben, what are you looking forward to tonight as Brock Guffey gets the start out on the mound?
Yeah, first of all, pleasant evening to everybody out there. Beautiful night here at Povich Field. I'm just glad to be back in the friendly confines. Of course, like you said, Big Train moving to 12-2 on the season last night in D.C., able to improve their league best record. And just, as you said, Tyler, they're going to look to carry through what they were able to accomplish last night into a sort of a revenge game for them here tonight against Gaithersburg, who somewhat disappointing loss for the Big Train last time these two teams met.
Brock Guffey delivers a ball for his first pitch to the pride of Salesianum High School, Dom Regazzo, out there on the mound, or out there in the plate, out of West Virginia, my hometown of Hocus and Dellers. It takes a big cut there, and it's 1-1. Brock Guffey out of Alabama, the senior, has been called a technician out of the bullpen there, but he's getting the start for the second straight game tonight. Here's the 1-1 to Regazzo. Popped high and out of play. Strike two.
Yeah, Guffey started that last game the previous Friday night against Gaithersburg. 3 really strong innings for him, a couple hits, and 1 strikeout.
Yeah, it was a very good outing for him, and we'll get his stats up. We just saw there. You saw his stats. Here's the 1-2 offering to Regazzo outside in the dirt. 2-2. Back at Povich Field for one, and then they head on the road for a couple. They're in Alexandria tomorrow night. That game starts at 6:30, and then they're back at Silver Spring on the 26th, and then they're back home for D.C., and then a 2-day break. Well, used to be a 2-day break until a rescheduled game. That one's low, and the count runs full here on Dom Regazzo, who's been a thorn in the side of Big Train pitching. He uses his speed to his advantage, and one of the fastest guys we've seen play against this team thus far. So that's tapped towards short. Easy enough for Gauthier. He'll fire to first in time for the first out, and there's one down.
Yeah, good play there for Gauthier. Back in the shortstop hole. Night off for Keith Torres, who's established himself at that position to get the speedy Regazzo, like you said, and keep those wheels.
Austin Gauthier faces off against the starting pitcher for the Gaithersburg Giants, Cam Nole. Nole has had 2 rocky outings, or 1 rocky outing and 1 good outing this season, both coming against the Alexandria Aces. Or one against T-Wolves, that ball's inside for a strike. And it's 1-1 to Gauthier. If you are just joining us or missed the first out, 3-U. Riley Johnson grounded out to the first baseman, Lavelle. And 1-1 here. Here's the delivery. Check swing. Did he go around? He said he did not, and it's 2-1. Home first base umpire Greg Kiewit. We've seen him a couple times. Home plate umpire Jerry Park, not the stadium the Expos used to play at, but his name is actually Jerry Park. And then Joe Del Balso at third base. Here's the 2-1. Grounded and tapped towards short. Fielded by Wilkinson, but that's in foul territory, and it's 2-2. So what we've heard about Nole is that he's got one of the most dastardly breaking balls in the league, and we'll see if he uses it here for the strikeout pitch, maybe saving it for that on 2-2 with Austin Gauthier. Shakes off a few sign, gets his, and he delivers. And that's popped down the right field side, hoping for a play as the right fielder Mercer, but he does not get there, and it's just a foul ball.
Yeah, I don't think that thing looked as dastardly as we'd come to expect from Nole. Like you said, a couple back-and-forth outings, 11 1/3 on the season, 9 hits allowed, 4 runs, 2 walks, and 15 strikeouts.
There's that breaking ball, and it's high. It didn't bend in like you wanted it to, and the count runs full. It's 3-2 to Austin Gauthier, who's been a fiend at getting on base this season. Maybe not the hit column, but see, it's inside, and he's on base again. There's a walk in the first inning, and Matt Thomas stands in, fresh off of his Player of the Week performance in the CRCBL, named the Offensive Player of the Week in the CRCBL as Matt Thomas stands in here.
Yeah, just really incredible stats for Matt Thomas last week. As you see, that 600 average, a massive on-base percentage, 11 hits, 11 runs, 10 RBIs. 3 of his league-leading 4 home runs came last week.
He's been
a well-deserved honor for him.
Good lefty pickoff move there from Nole. He's been the bellwether in this order this season for the Big Train. Just an absolute linchpin. Guy that you can't take out of your lineup. Was unavailable last night, but tonight he's back in and hoping to get a quick run on the board here against a starter that was pretty stingy with them in his first stars. That's inside, but a strike. So a very generous strike zone here from Jerry Park, the home plate umpire. We've seen Greg Hewitt a couple of times. This is the first time we've seen Park and the first time we've seen Del Balso at third base. So the 0-1. It's low, breaking ball about a step from the dirt, and it's 1-1.
Be interesting to see. A lot of the times, when you see as favorable of a strike zone inside as we've seen from Jerry Park for both sides, but a lot of the times he'll cut off the outside a little bit more.
Thomas hits one high in the infield and pointing up for that, hoping for play as the first baseman Lavelle. He'll settle under it and make the catch as it drifted on him a little bit, but there's the second out. So P3 on your scorecards, or F3, whatever you want to call it. It's a pop out, fly out to the first baseman. And Rocco Pepe is pretty sad that we're no longer in D.C. 2 home run performance last night. And just loves hitting there. His 3rd home run of the season. All of them have come in the District of Columbia.
Yeah, Rocco, our performance of the game last night. 5 RBI night for him. All of those coming on his 2 big flies. All 3 of his home runs this year have come in that D.C. ballpark. And he's 3/4 of the way to the home run cycle on the season now. A solo shot in his first one, 3-run and 2-run. Last night, just needs a grand slam to cross all the boxes off.
Yeah, no grand slam possible here is another pickoff to first base and not going anywhere. It's Gauthier once again. So the Big Train stand in today, 12-2, 7-5 record for the Giants, puts them, I believe, in second or third place at the moment. We'll see how the Aces have fared as there's a breaking ball in there for a strike, and it's 0-1, the first offering from Nole, to the batter Pepe. Pepe just snuck one over the fence that eluded your eyes a little bit yesterday, Ben.
No comment. It's a great home run.
Air traffic controls as it's bounced in the dirt. 1-1. Maybe that's what the helicopters were looking for, trying to find the second ball he hit.
Yeah.
That ball was slammed.
Second one was a little bit more, no doubt, than the first one. Pepe, 409 average, 534 on base percentage, 20 runs scored in that 3 spot where he has lived.
He rips one up the middle for a base hit, and that'll get Gauthier over to second. Another base hit for Rocco Pepe, who is swinging a hot bat lately.
Yeah,
and now,
absolutely. When you're hot, you stay hot.
And the man they call Crush with a K, Kemp Alderman, up to the plate now. And we'll see what he's up to. Played right field and first base last night, but in the DH spot today. Alderman had a rollicking start to the season, but has just run into some tough outs recently at the plate. You saw here's the Big Train lineup. Johnson, Gauthier, Thomas, Pepe, Alderman, Nip, Velazquez, Sean Uell, and Foster, and of course Brock Guffey on the mound to round it out. Guffey donning the sports goggles like you'd see on Mr. Eric Gagne or a couple other pitchers that are eluding my mind at the moment. First pitch low, ball 1.
Couple similar-looking pitchers here.
Yeah, they both got the flow.
Both got the flow dripping out of there. No lay, both lefties.
I know Luke Baker wears the sports goggles, I believe.
Yep.
So a couple of those, you don't see those too much in Major League Baseball anymore. Alderman's got a 1-0
contacts and LASIK.
Absolutely. I know Wilson Ramos got LASIK
a
few years ago.
Hasn't helped as much as I think he would like.
Absolutely. Two 2-0 here to Kemp Alderman. Delivers. Grounded towards short. Could be an easy play here. Flips to second for 1. And that's all they'll get to retire the side. But the Big Train get 2 runners on and nothing more. Alderman grounds out. They're still tied at 0 after the first inning here on Big Train TV. Michael Morale to lead off here for the Gaithersburg Giants against Brock Guffey, who quickly delivers his first pitch up high, ball one. Guffey in his second inning of work here. Still is yet to, I believe, allow a hit on the season, if I'm not mistaken. Or he's allowed to allow a run, excuse me, or a walk, free pass. There's a strike, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, a couple hits in that first outing for him back in Gaithersburg, but overall really solid. You can tell the experience he brings from his years at Alabama. Of course, one of the more veteran guys now on this Big Train staff. And, of course, he was back here in 2018 as well.
Yeah, as he fouls that one off. And it's 1-2. Michael Morale, the catcher tonight for Gaithersburg.
And a really impressive 18 campaign with the Big Train for Guffey. 29 innings of work. He had a 3-0 record and a 2.17 ERA.
So on his way here as he pops one way up there in the outfield. Foster hoping for a play, running in, and he'll make the play for the first out. So Carson Keithley and his clean .480 batting average that leads the CRCBL stands in here. First pitch from Guffey. Taken for a strike, and it's 0-1.
Yeah, Keithley's been an interesting conundrum for Gaithersburg, right? He's a utility guy. He can play in the outfield, and he can pitch. We've seen him start a couple times for Gaithersburg.
Sets in there for a ball, and it's 1-1.
But as you said, leads the league currently in batting average, and he led the league technically for most of the season, but didn't technically qualify as he didn't rack up enough at-bats because he wasn't as used as some of these other really well-hitting players have been, because he's also kind of working in the rotation and doing that as well to a high degree, to a high standard.
Guffey head on him 1-2 here. Fouled back into the screen, and it's still 1-2. They'll do it again. Just wanted to shout out to my family. Isaac and Michael are out at the game tonight. They're on the first base side just beyond the dugout. So I'll look for them during the break. But Guffey's got 1-2 here to Keithley. So that's grounded foul. Yeah, Keithley batting .480 on the season. Just the bat you want in your order at any time. Danny Nerai has a better batting average at .533 than him. Of course, not in the lineup tonight and still has yet to qualify for the league lead. Guffey, still 1-2.
Slightly different reason than Keithley.
So that bends outside, and it's 2-2. Yeah, Nerai got here a little late. Keithley just works as a pitcher as well. We saw him pitch a few games ago. I think it was the second game against his teams. That's popped way up there in the left field, but easy play there for Foster as he gets under it and makes the play for the second out. So 2 flyouts now after 3 groundouts in the first inning.
Still no strikeouts for Guffey tonight. As we said, I think only 1 in that last 3-inning outing against Gaithersburg. As you said before, he's a technician. Really good with his control, really good with his location, but not necessarily a guy that's going to rack up as many strikeouts as the guy on the other side in Cam Nole.
Yeah, the designated hitter Tyler DiMartino up, and we'll see what Nole has to offer in the second inning. And we'll see Guffey here with 2 quick outs in this inning. Delivers first pitch. Line into center field way back there is the center fielder Johnson. On the warning track, he makes the catch for the third out. So 3 flyouts after 3 straight groundouts in the first inning, and Guffey is through 2 scoreless, 2 hitless, 2 perfect here on Big Train TV. Cam Nolay back out for his second inning of work, and we'll take a look at his stats on this season in just a second. Grant Knipp, the leadoff hitters. You see Cam Nolay here. You'll take a look close up at his delivery. That's low ball one. So Cam Nolay this season, as you can see there on the graphic, he's just got that one start, but or he's got two starts, excuse me, as he delivers here, and Knipp crushes that one to third base. Easy play for Wilkinson. Fires him out at first for the first out. Grant Knipp grounded out to third, and Kyle Velasquez, happy birthday, Kyle, stands in and hopes to have a good birthday at the plate, better than Hayden Vanderroost a couple of weeks ago.
Vanderroost maybe coming out of the pen tonight for Gaithersburg. Yet to be seen.
Wouldn't it be great for a birthday bomb here? So he hits one high, but not deep enough, as that'll be an easy play for the first baseman, Lavelle, and he makes the play for the second out. Two down quickly here as Nolan Shanuel stands in. So quickly through these first couple of innings, the big train have had a couple men on. No one on for the Giants thus far. Nolan Shanuel, of course, the freshman All-American out of Florida Atlantic. Strike there from Nolay. It's a good pitch. That was just a phenomenal pitch there from Cam Nolay. His one official start, he allowed 4 runs as Shanuel fights one off and it's out of play. Or maybe, coming over to the sidewall, but no play there for the third baseman, shortstop. All the guys that ran over there. Regazzo hoping for it, Wilkinson hoping for it. None of them got to it.
Yeah, that thing, we talked a lot about the foul territory, I feel, last night in D.C. Of course, back to the acreage of space down each line here at Povich.
Shanuel hits one high. Should be a little bit easier for anybody to get. Regazzo under it, makes the play, and the side is retired. So the Big Train go down quietly here in the bottom of the second, and we'll send you to the top of the third here on Big Train TV. Brock Guffey out here for his third inning of work. And, he pitched 3 pretty flawless innings his last time up. We'll take a look at his stats coming into this one. Of course, he's got 2 more scoreless innings under his belt this year. The lefty out of Alabama, nothing allowed really. He allowed a couple of hits, but that was nothing. A .67 whip this season, walks plus hits per innings pitched, and he'll do battle here with Eddie Lavelle to lead off the third.
Yeah, I think perhaps the most telling thing to come out of that first start for Brock Guffey, like we said, 3 innings last Friday against Gaithersburg.
As the breaking ball is up high, ball 1.
Is that 182 batting average against. Faced a couple, gave up a couple hits, but really limiting the amount of contact from the barrels he faced.
Yes, again, since I didn't allow any hard contact either, a couple of soft base hits in that one. Guffey, not traditionally a starter, but he may go longer tonight. He's got two quick innings under his belt. That's chopped towards first base. Easy play for Sean Uell. Makes it. And there's out number one. So the ground ball is now working again for Brock Guffey. As
keeping the Giants batters on their toes.
Right. Tyler Martinez, the Towson native, up to the plate. Not from Towson, or does not go to Towson.
But no, as you were saying in terms of Guffey, I think it is going to be interesting to see how long he pitches. Of course, as we said, even though he did give up 3 hits in that last start.
So that one's into right field. The second baseman, Velasquez, going out, but the right fielder, Matt Thomas, makes the play for the second out. So the first non-same out inning here. It's an F9, and there's 2 down once. And I got to think he's out for another inning because I think he's at maybe 20 pitches through these first 2 2/3. As he deals with the bottom of the order, Dylan Wilkinson. He's got those long locks.
Yeah, and no, what I was going to say is I think his pitch count the last time he worked
that is the first base runner of the game for the Giants as that runs inside and hits Wilkinson in a grimace.
We were just talking about it a little too much. Ooh, he's not comfortable wearing that one. Yeah, hobbling a little bit down the first base line.
Grimaced a bit.
Tough spot to wear one in.
Absolutely.
But anyways, the point I was trying to make as the order turns over for Gaithersburg for the first time was that I'm sure his inning or his pitch count tonight is a little bit more lenient than it was the first time through in Gaithersburg. And like you said, before that hit by pitch, been cruising along.
Absolutely. Regazzo now as the order turns over. Not a blue hen. He is a Mountaineer out of West Virginia. Alma mater of both of my parents, Delaware, not West Virginia. I don't really know anyone that goes to West Virginia. Swing and a miss there from Regazzo, and it's 1-1.
No offense to any nears out there, but you're not missing anything.
Yeah, I can wholeheartedly agree with that one. And you also don't really want to be associated with that school either, with all the negative connotations that come with it. 1-1. Fought off and fouled down the first base side. And it's 1-2.
13-9. That's all I got to say on that topic.
So we'll have to see what the strikeout pitch is here for Brock Guffey and see if it's working. Regazzo hoping to not do that. Hoping to get this runner in from first base any way possible. He's hit a triple against the big train this year. Would love one of those here. In the more cavernous outfield at Gaithersburg, he made that triple happen. I think it's 350 down each side and to center field. But 330 down the line. And
8 RBIs on the year for Regazzo, but as you said, 11 hits, 8 runs scored as well. He's made his money getting on base.
He swings and misses strike 3, and Guffey is through 3 scoreless, 3 pretty flawless innings here on Big Train TV.
What a time to get your first strikeout for Brock Guffey.
Absolutely. Gets a big batter at Dom Regazzo at the top of the order, and we'll see the bottom of the order for the Big Train, and then the top. Foster, Johnson, and Gauthey are due up when we come back here on Big Train TV. Darius Foster in the bottom of the order today, taking his first at-bat of the night. Taking on Cam Nolay, who's through 2 scoreless as well, looking to match Guffey's scoreless effort through the first 3. We'll see if Guffey's night is done. We do know who is available out of the pen tonight, at least 4 pitchers, Howitt, Doherty, Robinson, and Rons. And it's not in that order, but Rons will probably pitch last. That runs inside a bit on Foster, and it's 1-0. Cooper Rons with a 1.04 ERA this season. He's been everything the Big Train have wanted and more.
Locked down on the back end of that bullpen.
So there's a strike there, and we saw a lockdown last night, Zach Locke. It's been a very intriguing 2.53 ERA for Zach Locke because there's been a lot of traffic on the base pass. He's got a 293 batting average against him, but he's gotten out of those jams. He's an escape artist, the modern-day Houdini out there in that left field bullpen. We won't see him tonight, but phenomenal effort last night, and we'll have a special guest for you a little bit later here on Big Train TV, as we sometimes do. Last night it was Grant Knipp. We got another position player / pitcher for you tonight. Let you know who it is. There's been a couple of those guys on this team, but not sure. As Foster laces one up the middle for a base hit right back where it was pitched, and he can basically stand on second base here.
Yeah, heads up, Cam Nolay there. Props to him. He didn't even flinch. That one came right by his head, it seemed, from our angle up here. And as you said, Foster, you got to be careful when he's on the base paths. 11 for 13 on the season.
You know, I liken his success with the base pass to prime Jose Reyes, because when he got on first base, he was on second base. You know, you can also link it to a guy like Christian Guzman on the Nationals, who was pretty quick.
Thinking more Trey Turner.
Trey Turner now, yes. They don't shut up about Trey Turner.
Rafael Soriano.
Drawing in on the infield. There's a great bunt from Johnson. That'll get the runner over at least, and maybe a save at first. He is. As it collide, and he's out. So Johnson tumbling and turning and almost going into a washing machine there as he almost collided with Cam Nolay, but he is out on the ground out, but it's a sacrifice nonetheless, and Foster is on second.
Yeah, just excellent job overall there from Riley Johnson. Foster getting to second, not necessarily a way we've seen him do a lot. You know, obviously he gets to second base a lot with that 474 on-base percentage, but most of the times it's via the swiped bag. Doesn't always have that sacrifice in a position from the one-hole hitter behind him. Normally we've seen him hit two a lot, and you don't want to give up a guy like Matt Thomas or Rocco Pepe on the sac bunt, but Riley Johnson executed that to a T, put it perfectly down the first base line, and narrowly got beat out by the throw.
Not quite a drag bunt there, as a breaking ball is in there for a strike, and it's 0-1 to Austin Gauthier. In his last game here at Povich Field, Gauthier sent one off the tree down the left field line, a mammoth home run. His first non-wall scraper home run of the year. He hit one just over the outfield fence in Lorton a couple of weeks ago. So there's a ball, and it's 1-1.
And this 9-1-2 for Sal Colangelo today, the bench boss, Hall of Fame bench boss for the Big Train, recently eclipsed the 500 win mark here in the CRCBL. It's really intriguing to me because you have, of course, Foster, who's a guy that, like Keith Torres, who's lived in that 9-hole a lot, able to turn the batting order over. You have Johnson, the speed in the 1-hole. And then in 2, you have Austin Gauthier, who's been a pretty good on-base guy, but also brings that real pop and real element of, you know, can drive in runs. And Gauthier on the year, 12 hits, 14 RBIs.
Yeah, he can get those runners in anyway. You know, Sal Colangelo, you mentioned him. I've just learned that he faced Billy Wagner, I believe, in high school. They both grew up in Virginia, so no surprises. Foster is running on the drop ball, and he is safe.
By a mile.
Heads-up play. I wouldn't say by a mile, Ben. It was still close, but...
by a mile in Darius Foster terms.
Darius Foster terms. Miles could be milliseconds here on this Povich Field green. No, he's on the infield dirt. So he gets to third on the, I guess, pass ball. Not a wild pitch because he didn't go to the backstop. So runner still in scoring position for Gauthier, the RBI machine.
Yeah,
Takes the ball. It's 3-1.
We talk a lot about the base running for the Big Train, and of course that's something you mentioned. Sal Colangelo's playing days. That's something he did so well himself. Over 100 bases stolen in high school, 52 in an 18-game span.
Gauthier crushes one down the left field line. That's going to go into the corner and get all the way to the wall, but be a foul ball. So he just narrowly missed a extra base hit by inches down the left field line, and he'll have to do it again.
Yeah, really tough break there from Gauthier. Of course, we've seen what he can do to that left field fence, as you mentioned, that big home run last time out, put in the tree just to the left of the left field light tower you see there. And
So
just narrowly pulled that one a little too far down the line.
3-2 here to Gauthier. Looking for a pitcher's pitch as he hits one to high to center field, but playable for the center fielder Martinez. He'll settle under it, make the catch. Foster is going, and there was no doubt about that. And there's the first run of the ball game as the Big Train take a 1-0 lead on a sacrifice fly by Austin Gauthier.
Yeah, as we said, Gauthier can bring runs in a variety of different ways and uses a deep fly ball to center field there. And with the speed of Darius Foster, positioned well, 90 feet away at third base after some really good small ball executed there by the Big Train offense, there's no doubt that he was coming home on that one.
So Matt Thomas with the bases empty comes up here in 2 outs. Still no hits tonight for the Gaithersburg Giants, but the Big Train have tacked together a run here. First pitch to Thomas, outside, ball 1. Thomas coming off a torrid stretch at the plate where he won CRCBL Batter of the Week. We were due to talk to him before the rain out on the broadcast last time they were here at Povich.
A 600 batting average last week. How about on the season? 425, 558 on-base percentage, 17 RBIs, 17 hits.
Takes a strike there. It's 2-1, and not sniffing Carson Keithley somehow.
And as we said, a league-leading 4 home runs.
Yeah, he's been getting the power, and he's homered in almost every location. I believe he's homered here once. He homered in Gaithersburg. He homered in D.C., and I think one other spot.
Silver Spring, Tacoma.
Silver Springs, he hits one into center field. Going back to the center field of Martinez on the warning track at the wall. It is off the top of the fence, and he can't make a play. Thomas will settle in at second with a double, so that ball just kept going and going and going. He hit it very high, and the hang time on that was incredible. And unfortunately for Tyler Martinez, no play was to be made on that. As Thomas, are they going to call it a home run or no? He's just going to ditch his equipment, go talk to Coach Gaithersburg. Crushed fly ball for Matt Thomas. Not quite out of the ballpark because it's the deepest part. That would have been sick if he hit it over the center field fence.
375 to straightaway center here at Povich Field as he puts a man on here for the Pepster. Rocco Pepe.
So, it's 375, but it's a deep 375.
It's a deep 375 with a big wall. As you said, Martinez not able to get up there to the top of it where that ball bounced down. That's a really tough play for any center fielder. Luckily, the sun setting behind him, so it doesn't really have to worry as much about that potential aspect as the long shadows start to creep in towards home plate.
Yeah, the shadows were an issue in D.C., and we'll see if they are here.
I mean, tough to see that ball as it disappeared towards center field.
Several sunspots speckled out there on the outfield.
Thomas might have thought he caught that one. He's one of the few guys that we know can really carry that batter's eye. I mean, he's done it a couple times back in 2019 when he was with the Big Train. He's done it a couple times in batting practice as well.
Yeah, it almost beckons for people to hit it over as that's low, and it's 3-0 here to Pepe. I think if anyone could hit it over, it's Kemp Alderman.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about Kemp. The power we've seen from him has been a lot of pull power. Haven't seen as much to straightaway center. And speaking of, power to the alleys, saw Matt Thomas take one Oppo Taco in BP today.
Yeah, Matt Thomas is just the complete player you want in this lineup that gets inside, and that's ball 4 to Pepe. Nearly hit him.
Nearly his 1,000,000th hit by pitch this season.
He is now the proud owner of a new Audi for that mark. Now Kemp Alderman's up to the plate.
Yeah, and a chance for Kemp to do some damage. And, this has got to be an interesting spot for Kemp. 2 RBI, or 1 RBI at least opportunity. If he can give one a solid ride, it would be at least 2.
He's got that.
Tied for the team lead with Rocco and Matt Thomas, the 2 men on, with 17.
So they probably know the scouting report on him now as a breaking ball, the first pitch to Alderman. Very long and open stance for him. Or would that be a closed stance? I never know.
Closed is front foot inside of the back foot. Open is front foot.
I believe they're stacked in pretty much the same place. So he takes a big swing and a miss there, and it's 0-2.
Not the best angle with the umpire, Jerry Park, basically blocking my view of his feet, but I believe he's pretty straight up. Maybe a slight bit closed, if anything.
Yeah, Jerry Park, the old home of the Montreal Expos, and they moved to Olympic Stadium after that. And then, of course, RFK and Nationals Park when they became the Washington Nationals. All roads lead back to RFK as Alderman gets under one to center field. Coming on is the left fielder Keith Lee, and he will slide and make a tremendous catch out there in left field to retire the side. Another tough out for Kemp Alderman as he's been robbed several times at the plate, and a big catch there by Carson Keithley in left field.
Yeah, we talked about Keithley able to do it all batting-wise and pitching-wise. Well, last time we saw him in the field against the Big Train, it was in right field on opening night, June the 7th, and he made a fantastic web gem there to rob Brady Gump, I believe, of a base hit. And like you said, tough luck lately for Kemp Alderman, and it stays just one run as we head to the top of the fourth here on Big Train TV.
Right, when it goes bad for you. And we'll see if Guffey's out here for another inning. It looks like he will be. Yeah, it looks like Brock Guffey's going to be out here for another inning, and we'll see you here for that on Big Train TV. Dusty Mercer, no relation to Dusty Baker, stands in for the first batter of the inning.
Or Jordy Mercer.
Or Jordy Mercer, mixture of two current and former Nationals. Brock Guffey out there for his fourth inning, 3 innings of no-hit ball to this point. He's allowed to walk.
Hit by pitch, not a walk.
Or hit by pitch, he's allowed.
Similar, free base.
Free 90,
Just the lone base runner against Brock Guffey tonight.
Here's the 0-1. He loops that one to short, and a nice little hop, skip, and a hop step for Austin Gauthier for the first out. Lines out there to shortstop.
Yeah, nice play from Austin. That one cutting a little bit off the bat of Mercer. Nice job to track that one.
Luke Keeschel up to the plate now. He's told us how to pronounce his name. Thank you, Luke.
Numerous times. Mostly my fault.
Yeah, mostly Ben's fault, as I tried to correct him several times in the broadcast, but he didn't listen to me.
He used a friendly conduit via Jesse Barron.
Yes.
San Francisco teammate, as well as Darius Foster. A couple other guys on the Gaithersburg roster as well.
Here's the 1-0. The 3/4 set, I guess, sidearm, sidewinder stance from Brock Guffey, and it's 2-0. You know, one pitch I haven't seen from any pitcher in this league thus far is a splitter, which is hard to learn, as getting under that one into foul territory is... Oh, and an amazing catch there by Sean Newell up against the wall. I couldn't see it because I was shaded by the sun, but Sean Newell makes the second out there.
Yeah, right up against the protective net down the first base grandstand. Again, on both plays, both outs so far for the Big Train here in the top of the fourth. Great job by the defensive fielders to track those through the sky and put themselves in a great position for quick two outs behind Brock Guffey.
Yeah, Michael Morale up to the plate now, the catcher. First pitch. It's outside, ball 1.
And I had something to say on what you were talking about before, but I completely forgot what it was in remarking on.
Says laced into left field for a base hit, so there goes the no-hitter for the big train, and Michael Morale is aboard with a single. Still a solid line through the first couple of batters for Brock Guffey.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think the no-hitter was on his mind at all.
No, absolutely not.
Not, through 4 innings, not when you're just trying to put your team in an excellent position. You do have one run of support, but always looking for more of the big train offense. But for now, Guffey and this pitching staff, and the defense especially, just need to be focused on keeping that 0 up. That's the only thing they're concerned with at this moment.
Keithley up now. Came into today batting .480. Good for first atop the leaderboard in the CRCBL. Keithley can do it all for this team. He's their own, Jack Cohn, if you want to call it, as he fouls it off of his foot and into the back of the batter's box.
Carson freaking Keithley just doesn't have the same ring to it. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, Jack Cohn.
Call it my homerism, but it just doesn't roll off the tongue in the same way.
Jack Cohn just works so well with really anything. Short and sweet.
Stone and cold.
Brock Guffey on the mound. Here's the pitch. Swinging in a foul ball, I guess, as that gets away from the catcher. So he swung on and missed it. I'm not sure if that was a foul ball.
I don't think Keithley got any lumber on that one. I think it just bounced in the dirt on a really good breaking ball there from Guffey and skirted away from Grant Knipp. Back behind the dish after a few days off.
Catching his future Alabama battery mate. He didn't get, Guffey's graduating and Knipp.
I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, I'm pretty sure Guffey is using his extra year of eligibility.
So at least they'll get 1 year together as it's fouled off. Nip did not play at Alabama this year. That I've been told several times by my colleagues.
Yeah, but, there's the possibility that they've caught each other, or Nip caught Guffey in, bullpen sessions, or when Guffey was perhaps warming up.
Right.
In? Who says warming in? Come
Ready
on,
to go into the game.
Preparing himself inside of the bullpen.
Correct.
I didn't get the chance to ask Grant that last night, if he was the bullpen catcher for Alabama, but I'm sure that's a role that he could fill.
Here's the 1-2. Bounced up the first base side. Sean Ewell will take it and flip it to Guffey, and it's going to be a foot race to the bag, and he beats him for the third out. So the big train threw 4 scoreless here as they lead 1-0 here at Povich Field. We'll have you back for the bottom half of the fourth when we have Nip, Velasquez, and Sean Ewell due up for the big train here on Big Train TV. Big Train TV Entendez. Grant Nip up at the plate. Takes a strike there from Cam Nole, and it's 0-1.
Hey,
Nole threw 3 scoreless so far and looking to make that 4. Or through 3 innings of 1-run ball, looking to make it 4 innings of 1-run ball. Of course, last night, Grant Knipp, you saw him on the broadcast joining us. That's why I did that entente. I don't really know if that's the right word to use there.
And not even the most interesting part of Mr. Knipp's night, No offense to ourselves, but
right, we'll get on that as a second. Is the 1-1 as he swings and misses, comes up empty there on the breaking ball, and it's 1-2.
Pinch hit for Kemp Alderman in the 5th or 6th inning, I want to say. Or I think actually maybe it was the 7th.
It was around there.
Yeah, it was the 7th. And
here's Nole's pitch outside, and it's 2-2.
Knipp had a really good at-bat. Laced a double into the outfield, was standing on second easily, and all of a sudden we look down, we look back up, and he's gone, vanished off the face of the earth. And we look to each other and we say, what just happened? They say 2 outs on the board.
Bounces that one foul back into the hand of Nolan Shanuel.
And Grant Knipp isn't there. So what the heck happened?
Certainly
And
interesting.
it took us a little bit to find out. Had to go to the horse's mouth himself. Turns out the umpire last night, first base umpire, had said that Knipp missed first, Brian Hayes style, heading to second.
I feel bad as Knipp hits one to center field. That's way back there, and that ball is gone. Goodbye into the shrubbery. Grant Knipp loses one into the outfield, and it's 2-0 Big Train as Grant Knipp has his first round tripper of the year.
Grant Knipp said knee as he deleted that ball.
Grant Knipp did not miss first base that time. As I was going to say, I feel bad for Brian Hayes, who's going to have that linked to him for a while, but Grant Knipp leaves no doubt. It doubles the lead here on Big Train TV.
Yeah, a pointed step on home plate there, just making sure he touched all 4 on that round tripper. And, Tyler, I have to say, all of our guests up here in the booth have come right out and had pretty successful outings the night after, and Grant Knipp joins the parade as he sends one way out of here into the forest in right center field.
As Patrick Chapman, our assistant GM, walks below us, Kyle Velasquez, the birthday boy, up to the plate looking to follow suit with Grant Knipp. Nole's first, run-scoring hit allowed. He allowed the sacrifice fly, but a charge for Grant Knipp into the abyss out there beyond the left center field fence and cleared that fence up there. 0-2 quickly here on Kyle Velasquez, who's 0 for 1 with a pop out to the first baseman, Eddie Lavelle. 0-2. So he chops that one to third. Nice diving stop by Wilkinson. The fire to first is in time to get him. A phenomenal play out there at third base by Wilkinson to retire the side, to get the first out of the inning, as he was running in like he thought there were 3 outs. But Wilkinson, sparkling effort out there on defense.
Yeah, really just a great play. Kyle Velasquez has really been great at putting up 2-baggers and a chance for one there as he laced one straight down the left field line, but instead Wilkinson had other ideas. A fantastic diving stop to stop that one from rolling into the outfield and then get up and fire a dart to Eddie Lavelle at first to get Velasquez by a step.
Check swing says he did not go around third base umpire Joe Del Balso. So it's 1-0 to Nolan Shanuel. So he hits one high and deep to right field. Going back is the right fielder Mercer on the warning track at the wall. He looks up and it's gone. Goodbye. Nolan Shanuel follows suit with Grant Knipp, and it's 2 long balls in this inning for the Big Train. That ball just cleared the glove and the fence, and the Big Train lead it 3-0.
Wall scraper indeed for Nolan Shanuel as he gets his second of this season in dramatic style to give the Big Train a 3-0 lead.
Could you hear the excitement on that one, Ben? From the fans, from myself, as I almost lost my voice on that call. Now Darius Foster stands in, the 9-hole hitter. He came around to score after lacing a single up the middle, so a pair of long balls in this inning for the Big Train. Shanuel loses one as well. First pitch ball, and not hitting his spots anymore like he was through the first 3 innings is Cam Nole.
Yeah, and those are 2 guys in the bottom of this Big Train batting order, as Jesse Frawley will come from the Gaithersburg dugout for a quick word with Nole on the mound. But those are 2 guys that have definitely shown their power at different times in this season. Both of those guys, I think, homered in the 2 exhibition games before this season officially got underway.
Yeah, I believe Sean Uell definitely did. I don't think Nip did.
I think I'll have to double check. I'll go back and look.
Nip was definitely losing some in batting practice, though.
Yeah, but those are 2 guys that haven't necessarily had it click all the way offensively, and it really looks like both of them are starting to hit their stride as we head into the meat of this summer season for the Big Train.
The dog days of summer are not quite here yet, but pair of long balls in the inning for the Big Train. Jacks, whatever you want to call them, it's 3-0.
Big flies.
3-run Jimmy Jack does not apply here. The former broadcaster of the Los Angeles Angels, Victor Rojas, would say. Foster takes a strike, and it's 1-1. Ever since I've stood up here in the booth, they've hit 2 home runs, so I think I should stay standing up.
Absolutely.
For at least the duration
Same
of this
spots, same thoughts.
Superstition is 1-1 to Foster is fouled back.
Foster does have some pop in his bat, not as much as you'd say a Sean Uell or Nip or even Kemp Alderman, but definitely does have a little power in that black piece of lumber.
So we'll have to see if it hit Mercer's glove and went over. Not sure about that one, but home run.
Are you going to ask him? I'm not.
I don't plan on it either. Foster pops one up the first base side, I guess. Pop is not a good word for that. Cracks one up the first base side, and it's
just to put some salt in the wound here. Grant Nip in the bottom of the 6th inning, the first exhibition game against Silver Spring Tacoma, a big fly.
All right. I get it. I don't know anything. 1-2 here to Foster. Hits that one to the opposite field. Going to be a tough play for Wilkinson, and he bobbles it, and Foster will be safe.
I think you do know, however, give you credit for this, that Darius Foster knows how to get on base.
Absolutely.
Especially via an infield single.
Yeah, he's the infield single machine. Maybe I'd love to get the BABIP for his batting average on balls in play this season. We'll see if that goes as a hit, and it does. He's pretty fast, and he can, you better watch out because you could blink and he could be on second and maybe be on third.
I think that's a very reasonable hit. There's a question when it goes off the mitt, especially. It's not always a clean fielded play. But, for as far toward the line as Wilkinson was there, we've seen him throw out Velazquez in this inning already, kind of from a similar spot. But, again, a really tough play to make all around with how he had to charge that ball and how far he would have had to thrown, again, to get out the very speedy Darius Foster.
Yeah, Nolay zips a strike in there as Riley Johnson walks up to the plate to Dancing Queen by Abba. That is another strike, and it's 0-2.
A lesson to young batters. If somebody asks you what your walk-up song is going to be, make sure you have one ready. Otherwise, you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, Riley Johnson. It was determined by the higher-ups on Big Train, a.k.a. us. As Foster goes, that's outside. Good, I guess, mini pitch. I was like, goes into center field, and Foster will be on third base. Do not throw that ball in, Tyler Martinez, because if it gets away, Foster will score. And he is all the way on third. How about that?
Yeah, he's made a living and of getting down to second base, and pretty easy 180 feet there for him.
We'll give him an error on the catcher there. He gets a stolen base and an error. So nothing good for the ledger there if you're catcher Michael Morale. 1-2 here on Riley Johnson. Swings and misses strike 3, and that is the second out of the inning. Riley Johnson retired for Austin Gauthier. So it's been a different night than last night for Riley Johnson. We haven't seen the Big Train, and I'm knocking on wood here. The Big Train have hit home runs. They haven't given up much. I believe the only one that they've given up or one of the few they've given up was that big fly by Garrett Farquhar here.
Farquhar here. Nathan Schmela out at, I guess they gave up 2 at South County, didn't they?
I think Ethan Rothstein went yard there as well.
I think there was one more.
So it's been a run by committee staff as Gauthier fouls that way back towards us and should go near Brewster's as everybody ducks for cover and bounces in front of the pavilion. So everybody scattered for that one. But yeah, it's nice to see some smiling faces here at the ballpark.
Scattered, and now we'll all proceed to run straight to it. So
hey,
see a stream of about 10
Isaac running after that ball.
10 or 15 children. Nice. Headed straight for that one.
He's a bit late as he was kind of behind everybody there. Gauthier cracks one up the middle for a base hit, and Foster will come in to score. Gauthier chugging around first. He's going to try for 2 and put on the brakes.
Yeah.
Pretty smart.
Really steamed his way around the first base bag, but a pretty nice ribeye steak there, consumed by Mr. Austin Gauthier. Second of the night, and this time he gets on base as well.
Things starting to rain down here on the pitcher, Cam Nolay, and Matt Thomas is a tough batter to face to retire this inning. I mean, you really have nowhere to go in this inning if you're Cam Nolay. You've got to get one of these guys out. Pepe, Thomas, Alderman. He checks on Gauthier at first base. As I was going to say, it's nice to see some smiling faces here at the ballpark. The mask mandate has been lifted here at Povich Field with the very high vaccination rate in Montgomery County and the low COVID positivity rate. As Thomas sends one into the screen down the left field line near the bullpen, and it's 0-1. Nolay just trying desperately to get out of this inning, as the score is definitely wrong on the scorecard. It's 4-0 Big Train. It's low, and it's ball 1. So 1-1 here. Got a new scoreboard operator tonight. It's been relegated to that.
He's got it right now.
Yeah, he does. Cam Nolay, 1-1 here on Matt Thomas. There's a strike that zips in there, and it's 2-2. See a couple of the members of the Beehive waiting for some Catalyst hot dogs. Baker, Barron, and I think that's Tchaikovsky as well. All waiting to get their fix in of some of the best hot dogs I've ever had. But enough on the food.
Can't say anything else to that.
Thomas looking to eat at the dish. 1-2. Low, ball 2. He's at the dish. He's just got to finish his plate. Table is not really set for him. There's a runner on first, nobody else. See if we get Jack Cohn up here tonight. I know I teased it a little bit earlier, but he said he has agreed to come up today. We don't know when. 2-2 here from Nolay to Thomas. Thomas fouls it back, and it's 2-2 again. Matt Thomas is stringing together one heck of a season for Bethesda. 2-2 here against Nolay, though.
Pepe on deck, waiting for a potential opportunity to... Both of these guys looking to add to their ribby total potentially.
Gauthier is the runner at first. Yeah, Pepe would be next, is stepping out there and taking time. Matt Thomas. 3 runs across in this inning for Bethesda. They lead it 4-0. And Nolay will do the 2-2 once more. Here's the pitch. High, ball 3, and he's worked a very good turn at bat. Has Matt Thomas. Saw pitcher Jack Slade walking on the concourse from Gaithersburg. These guys will often do that. Cooper Rons as well. There goes the runner, and swing and a miss, strike 3. And Thomas is down. Here is the Big Train. Get 3 more runs in on the strike to home runs by Grant Knipp and Nolan Shawnuel. They head to the top half of the 5th with the leading 4-0.
One in 10,000 children are born with a brain malformation known as Dandy-Walker syndrome. Dandy-Walker can cause enlargement of the skull, lack of muscle control, and other developmental challenges. More research is needed, but we do know that early therapy helps many live healthier, fuller lives. 1 in 10,000 may not seem like a lot unless your child is the one. Learn more, find help, and help others. Visit dandy-walker.org.
We have another hashtag Big Train debut here in this game as Kyle Robinson makes his first appearance out of the bullpen for the Big Train thus far. The Texas Tech commit, rising freshman. The long righty, Brock Guffey, 4 scoreless innings, 1 hit allowed as he pumps in a strike there for his first pitch, and his outing is underway.
Yeah, Robinson, like you said, 6'5", 195, got some length to him. Rising freshman in the season to come at Lubbock.
So a final line for Brock Guffey, 4 innings pitched, 1 hit, no runs allowed, no walks, and a strikeout. Very good. Because that was actually 2 quick balls here, I think, for Kyle Robinson. It's outside, and it's 3-0. I believe the first one was right down the middle, so I think it's 2-1.
There it is. They just
Yeah.
corrected it.
So 2-1 on number
You were right. Never doubt yourself, especially when it comes to scoreboard operators.
2-1 on number 21, Tyler DiMartino takes a big cut and a miss there, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, good off-speed pitch there from Robinson. Don't have as much of a scouting report on him. Haven't had the chance to catch up with him yet. Looking forward to that. A late addition to this roster out of Marshall High School.
Here's the pitch. Hits one high and deep to right field. Hoping for a play as Thomas over in the corner near the sidewall. He made the catch. Incredible running play there for Matt Thomas, and there's one down, allowed out number 1.
Thomas quickly ran out of space on the gravel warning track there, reaching up and snagging that one out of the sky against the fence. A beautiful play in foul territory there by the right fielder, Thomas.
And that wall beckons, but not in a good way.
But yeah.
Retired for Eddie Lavelle, as you can get to your point here. First pitch from Robinson is outside, ball 1.
Just going to say, we do know about Robinson that his fastball tops out lower 90s, around 92, 94-ish, as you've seen at least a curve and another off-speed pitch.
It's outside. There's some tail to that pitch as well.
Yeah, maybe a slider even breaking away from the right-handed batter there, or left-handed batter there, pardon. Not good with my left and right, so I'll be ready to admit
We'll call it
that.
7 and 9 for you.
Yeah.
As that runs inside, and it's quickly 3-0 here on the batter. Eddie Lavelle, the first baseman. 3U his last time up. As there's quickly ball 4, and aboard now is Eddie Lavelle. So the first walk of the evening for any Big Train pitcher. And we've probably likely seen the end of the line for Mr. Cam Nolay on the mound.
Yeah, some throwing up down the right field bullpen for Gaithersburg as Tyler Martinez steps into the right-handed batter's box.
So Robinson doing battle here with Tyler Martinez. So he checks on the runner at first. He's not going anywhere.
Derek Ivey, 6'0 righty, up and throwing by my eyes.
Dylan Wilkinson would be next, barring a double play. It's a swing and a miss there on a fastball from Robinson, and it's 0-1. Lots of Big Train summer camp kids here tonight.
Yeah.
Out here at the ballpark, maybe stuck around a little bit.
First of 6 weeks of that camp this week.
Absolutely. That's chopped to second, and this might be 2. Flip to second for 1. Gauthier to first. Double play, and the inning is over.
Nostradamus Tyler Gallo.
Gallostradamus right there as the side is retired for Robinson. A scoreless inning in his first outing. He allows a walk, but gets the double play. And the inning is over. The second Wilson College Phoenix to take the mound here is number 42, Derek Ivey. Stands in here against Rocco Pepe. So it was a very rude exit tonight for Mr. Cam Nolay on the mound, but another Wilson College Phoenix that started this game, and Ivey. Very Mark Melanson type windup here, as you'll see. It's a big swing and a miss there from Pepe, and it's 0-1.
Yeah, really slow start throughout the windup, but then fires, whips that back arm through. And we've seen a little bit of iffy control through his warm-up pitches, but as you see there, a beautiful wipeout breaking ball that the bottom just drops out of it.
Absolutely, but probably see that pitch a couple more times, so we'll have more time to talk about it later. But here's the 1-1 offering to Rocco Pepe, who is grounds out into the third base hole off the glove and into left field for a base hit. Rocco Pepe is aboard once more, his second hit of the night.
We'll see what that's scored, but I'm with you. Yep, and there it is. Officially a hit.
Yeah, it just glanced off.
Absolutely. Backhanded play for the third baseman. Very tough, ranging back towards his left.
Yeah,
easily a base hit.
Just glanced off of his glove.
And hey, Rocco Pepe, 3 for 3 with 3 singles. Stay hot, Rocco.
Well, yeah, I put that in the wrong column of my scorecard, so let's hope Grant Knipp gets a – well, he actually walked his last time up. Pepe. We'll see if Grant Knipp gets a single, so I don't have to cross it out.
Oh.
I wrote it in that column, but yeah, Pepe did walk his last time up.
Oh. Okay, 2 for 2 with 2 singles and a walk. On-base percentage skyrocketing for Rock, and it's headed towards 600.
Skyrocketing as Kemp Alderman stands up at the plate. Here's the 0-1. Oh. Big swing and a miss there from Kemp Alderman as he was looking for.
Got a piece of it there. That was the curveball.
He's trying to send that to that garage out there in left field.
Yeah, the the Cabin John maintenance shed out past the left
If anyone
field
can
fence.
touch it, it's him.
I collected one from down there during the very first batting practice of this season. I'm sure it took a couple bounces.
Oh, absolutely. As he, again, comes up empty as there's strike 3. And Alderman is retired.
Swinging for the fences there.
So that'll bring up Grant Knipp, who hopefully singles so I don't have to cross out. But he homered his last time up.
I'll take what he did last time as well.
I would absolutely love that. That would be a friendly cross out there. So Knipp sent one into oblivion beyond the right center field fence. Oppo power for Grant Knipp. We saw that in batting practice. Hoping to continue that here against Derek Ivey, the new pitcher. Not going as the runner on first Pepe, as there's a ball outside and it's 1-0.
Yeah, but for Ivy this past season at Wilson, 10 appearances, 33 2/3 innings of work, a 3-1 record, no saves.
Taking the lefty deep was Grant Knipp.
18 hits, 9 runs allowed, all of them earned, 14 walks, and 49 strikeouts.
It's got swing and miss stuff, apparently.
And you could see, interestingly enough, with the location of the first couple fastballs to Knipp high and inside, that's where he started 2 of those breaking balls to Alderman that got swings and misses. Started them inside and really just had the bottom drop out.
So that's high ball 3, and I'd take a BB. I can just write a B right there. I'll take a BB.
You mean like
from
I
Kemp.
just had to do on Rocco's third inning
Yeah.
frame?
Had to did is not an English phrase, though, unfortunately, Ben.
I speaks very good English.
I'm not sure how funny that actually was. But
Not very,
there's a
but it got a
strike.
laugh
That's
regardless.
3-1. Got a laugh.
That's what matters,
I
right?
feel like that was more of a giggle.
It was a pretty hefty laugh for a giggle.
No, it was he, so I don't know if you would call that a laugh or a giggle from Aaron Adams,
We get closed
who
caption.
has been fired
on our
several times
produce.
today and still here.
He's a survivor. What can I say?
Nip takes one for a strike.
Yeah, there's that breaking ball.
Big bender.
Not really a 12-6, more of an 11-5 shape on it. But
I
again,
would say
starts
it's
up
27-1.
That's actual analysis, but okay. Starts up on the almost at the letters across Grant Knipp's chest and bottoms out to the outside corner.
Yeah, really nothing you can do but spit on that pitch. Here's another breaking ball in the dirt, and there's the BB as he
And that was
aggressively launches the bat towards the dugout, hoping that Owen gets to it. And he does reach via the BB.
yeah, and Owen's probably happy with that. A little less way for him to run.
Well, he's got to get his steps. He doesn't have to worry about his steps too much. He's young.
He's got shorter strides. It's just a little bit harder. Especially when, the bat's the same size as, of course, still the best bad boy in the CRCBL.
There's really no other bad boy in the CRCBL, except for maybe
No bad dogs. That's
bat
what I'm
dogs.
disappointed
I'd
about.
love a bad dog.
Takes a lot of training.
The only dogs here are Catalyst. So that's a
Those
ball inside.
are steaming.
Those are good boys.
The only dogs allowed at Cabin John Regional Park.
Correct. There's a couple of Gaithersburg Giants walk down on the concourse. 1-0 with 1 out. Pepe on second. Nip on first. Velasquez at the plate. Velasquez having a pretty unhappy birthday here tonight. No hits thus far. But he hits that one down the third base line. That's going to be a fair ball, and that'll score a few. He can run for days. Or not really, as that bounces. Takes a weird bounce back to the left fielder, Keithley. And an RBI single. Happy birthday, Kyle Velasquez. RBI double, excuse me. And getting some applause from the fans as the hits keep on coming for Bethesda.
Blow the candles out on that one.
He blew the candles off that ball, I'll tell you that. RBI double for Kyle Velasquez. The 9th hit the Big Train have had today. The 5th run they've scored. It's just been a relentless attack this season. And no answer for the Giants.
And 21 candles, I believe, for Mr. Velasquez on the cake. 7 candles when it comes to doubles for the year for Kyle Two Bags. And
Kyle
he's
Two
got
Bags doesn't roll up the tongue
double-digit-
as Tyler Two Bags would.
And he's got double-digit RBIs this season now, recording his 10th right there.
Yeah, well, who doesn't? I mean, Nolan Shanuel up at the plate does, I believe.
Yep,
After his
11.
home run as well.
12.
Hits another one up the middle for a base hit, and
Make
that'll
it 13.
score 2
About
as
14.
Velasquez nearly lapping Grant Knipp on the base pass, but a 2 RBI single for Nolan Shanuel, and they're putting no doubt to this game after that. Maybe they're calling that last loss a fluke against this Giants team.
Nolan Shanuel trying to test out my counting skills. Doing it live.
7-0. It's just been a rough outing for both pitchers. And it didn't start that way, but 3 runs in consecutive innings. Darius Foster is up now with a runner on first. If anyone would lap anyone on the base pass, I feel like it'd be Foster.
There's 3 candidates off the top of my head. Foster, the man on deck, Riley Johnson, who's flashed the speed already a little bit today.
Foster bounces that
a little
one
bit in front of that one, off speed. Maybe a change up there. And the third candidate for a good lapping, Keith Torres, the flying Hawaiian.
Big emphasis on the flying there.
Because he flies. What can I say?
Just 1 hit allowed for Big Train pitching. We'll see if Robinson gets another inning. He probably will.
Soaring through the infield dirt.
Foster takes a strike, and it's 0-2.
Here we go. Train.
I'm afraid no one else shares your sentiment out there on the field. No one else said go Train. Roll Train. Foster looking to do what his brethren have done out there and drive in another run. But he'd have to hit it pretty hard for that, and he's the singles machine this year. And he singles one up to third base side. Could be 2, but no chance to get there. If you're Foster, and that's going to go to the wall. So Foster safe at first as erases Shanuel, and the Big Train have 2 outs.
Yeah, tough fielder's choice there for Shanuel, motoring down to second base as fast as he can.
Yeah, it would have been a 5-6-3 double play.
Is Frawley going to come out and argue that Shanuel slid a little too late?
Even so, Foster would have beat it out. So I don't know if you really can argue anything there.
I missed the slide, in all honesty. I didn't see it. I was looking down to Foster at first.
Yeah, it's hard to – as Jack Cohn, that's where Jack Cohn is. He's up at the plate. So he's in. Maybe he'll come up after. So it looks like Jack Cohn will take over in center field. Riley Johnson out of the game. So we probably won't get Jack Cohn tonight up in the booth. We thought he would be off tonight, but of course if Riley Johnson has some issues, he's out. And Cohn, the man off the bench, will pinch hit for him. I believe it's a pinch hit appearance.
Pinch hit appearance with a defensive substitution. Not sure if Cohn was out there in center last time, as Frawley looks to finally be at least satisfied for the moment.
Foster remains at first base, and the new batter is Jack Cohn.
Haven't seen Cohn lead off yet. But again, what can't Jack freaking Cohn do?
Takes over here. I believe he took over in the top half of this inning. Defensive replacement in the 5th. Wonder what's up with Riley Johnson. We'll have to see.
Just kicking those legs up. Nothing off the top of my head that would bring concern as Foster off at the
drop of a hat.
Yeah.
But this time it was the ball. Foster is just unstoppable on the base paths.
Second stolen base tonight. 13th of the year.
After a quiet first 2 innings, the Big Train have tacked on 7 runs in the last 3 as they lead 7-0 here in the bottom of the 5th and threatening for more with a runner in scoring position for Cohn. He hits one high and out of play for the first strike.
And Cohn, another one of these guys just trying to put the pieces together into a complete offensive performance. We've seen the ball jump off his bat a couple times, but there was that one double against Silver Spring Tacoma that he was trying to stretch into a triple, ended up getting caught out well before the third base bag. So again, just trying to put the pieces together and really turn something magical from the plate here.
Magical swing down the first base line and foul.
Hefty kick off the fence back into the field of play.
Jack Cohn, 2 strikes here. just looking to put a ball in play, maybe get Foster around to score. A single up the middle would easily score Foster. There's no doubt about that. Number 42, surprise number there for Ivy on the mound. If things have gone awry as he reaches for one and fouls down the first base side, and it's still 1-2. So Cone will do 1-2 again. It's high, and it's 2-2. Jack Cone still's got a 2-2 count at the plate as the Big Train lead at 7-0. 7 runs on 10 hits. And that gets away, and Foster not running surprisingly.
Yeah, probably could see the excellent block there by Morale behind the dish. Shuffle step to his left, almost like a basketball player defending his man. Kept that ball in front of him, ready to fire down to Foster, trying to advance to third base. So Darius does the smart thing and stays put for the moment. For the moment. Emphasis on the for the moment part.
So did he go around? He did, and that's going to be strike 3. And the Big Train are retired, but not after 3 runs come across the score on a couple of singles and a couple of doubles. Big Train lead by 7 here as we head to the top of the 6th on Big Train TV. Kyle Robinson assumes the mound again for second inning work and doing battle with Dylan Wilkinson, who comes up empty on the swing and a miss for the first strike.
And I believe, not counting starters, I believe this is the first bullpen debutant that we've seen go for multiple innings.
Yeah, I believe so. And, last night Everett Catlett with a phenomenal debut. 3 strikeouts, struck out the
Short
side.
leash.
The right strikeout
But
the
he
side
also,
then.
He also, like you said, I believe returning from an injury. Not entirely sure what's going on there.
Yeah,
so
he had a shoulder issue.
playing a little bit safe with the big.
Set gets in, and I believe
thought that hit the dirt first.
And Wilkinson is hit for the second time today, so having a Rocco Pepe-esque night.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that one hurt anywhere near like the first one did, but still, he's shaking it off as he trots down the first base line.
The last time he was left stranded at first base, he was hit by a pitch, but the only hit tonight belongs to Michael Morale, the catcher.
Of course he was left stranded. No runs have come home yet for Gaithersburg.
Well, Ben, I'm just trying to add some flair. Turns over now for Dom Ragazzo, the leadoff hitter for this team. 0 for 2.
Get on base for the first time today.
taps that one down the third base side. Pepe with a nice little pickup in foul territory.
Wonder if former birthday boy Zach Locke celebrated his birthday last Saturday, if I'm correct.
Yes. I think
Now
so.
down at the Brewster's ice cream stand. Wonder if he's going to get something special for his teammate, Mr. Kyle Velasquez. Of course, the
outside
birthday boy
101.
tonight. Ryan Lynch in between them back on the 21st.
I'd love for him to bring us up some ice cream right now, but
I'll try to flag him down. He was waving up here before.
so you went around on that as it gets away, and Wilkinson will get to second. Feeble swing there from Dom Ragazzo.
Yeah, and a tough breaking ball there from Robinson. Really good cut on that one. Obviously got the swing and miss, but just had so much break on it. Bounced in front of Nip behind the dish. I
So
think he's going to ask for a new one.
Yeah, rub up that new baseball out there. No sticky stuff searches here in CRCBL.
They out of baseballs? Looking back toward the dugout for something.
It looks like, yeah, they're probably out of baseballs.
Oh, no, I think either Nip's hand. Trainer's coming out for something. Over to Coach G.
See what's up with Grant. Who,
Maybe check on Wilkinson?
yeah.
Are they checking on Wilkinson or are they checking on Nip? That's the question.
Wilkinson looks to be.
He's trying to walk it off as best he can. Tightening that right spike. Oh, I think Nip might be bleeding. I think they just got to wipe it down. Or put a Band-Aid on it or something.
Happens from time to time.
A little bit of a pause here.
Once again, we'd
No
like to
pace of
thank
play concerns.
everyone who's watching here on Big Train TV tonight. Really appreciate anyone tuning in. If you have any questions for us, feel free to ask. We'd love to answer your questions in here.
Been really incredible to, see the support on the YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that fancy jazz. And, of course, thanks to those that have come up to us here at Povich Field. Always love getting to meet those of you who are lucky enough to get out here to the ballpark.
Ben, will you shave your head for the 200th subscriber?
No, but I will eat a cicada on camera.
Yeah, for the 200th subscriber.
And a shirt.
Yeah,
I want the shirt,
you'll
too.
You'll eat a shirt on camera?
No, I will eat the cicada for 200 subscribers and the shirt. So hit that subscribe button, and we'll do a very special edition of Ballpark Bites featuring Big Train founder Bruce Adams' favorite treat, an air-fried cicada.
Yeah, and I mean,
Brood X cicada. I mean, he's got to be running low on stock. They have disappeared quickly.
Right, and that's almost good as it's been quiet.
Almost missed them. It's like sleeping without white noise at this point.
Right.
You're so used to it. You get so accustomed to that just kind of constant buzz that when they're gone, all of a sudden it's like, hey, where'd they go?
Right. Well, and if you're watching right now and you're not subscribed to us, what are you doing?
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Do the right thing, as Spike Lee would say.
Absolutely. We'd love to see new faces in new places. That's taken for strike three call to ring them up as down looking is Dom Ragazzo, who had a very long at bat.
Yeah. Interrupted rudely, not by a substance search, but by a trip to the trainer for catcher Grant Nip, and it ends with a backwards K for the pride of Silesianum.
Back-to-back strikeouts, that's right, under Coach Ted Godfrey at Silesianum, who's also the tech skills and intro to fine or something. I had him for
you're trying to recall this.
I had him for two classes, and it was tech skills, which you had to take, and then you had to take another.
Is that like wood shop? Or is that like
no,
coding?
tech skills is like Excel, Word.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
That's fouled back in the street again. And I think intro to finance was or personal finance was the other class that I had to take.
I took that from my math class senior year here at Bethesda Chevy Chase.
Well, I didn't have to take
quantitative literacy, they called it.
I had to, broadcast, or I had to take TV. I took TV production all 4 years as my one elective.
Big shot.
and had to. Well, I mean, Mr. Sal was a phenomenal professor. I wish he was watching tonight.
Not this Sal. Different Sal.
Not this Sal, no.
Sal
Ryan
at Sally's?
Salandria, who now teaches in New Jersey, I believe.
Mr. Salandria at Salesianum.
Very
Actually, that's
Mr. Sal.
confusing.
And the station was called WSAL. So
I'm sure
very
that was
wrongly, I will say very wrongly terminated by Salesianum. They just sort of got rid of the TV production program. I won a gold medal for that. For excellence in that, I guess.
tough luck.
Swing and a miss, strike 3 as Mercer's down swinging in. Back-to-back strikeouts now for Robinson as Luke Keischel comes up to the plate. Yeah, as Ted Godfrey was the coach at Salesianum, and they were solid. They were never noteworthy during my time at the school, but way back in the 70s, they were unbelievable. And I don't know why this quote has always stuck with me. I believe Father Kenny was the coach of that team, and they went undefeated one year, where they went like 29-1 or something like that. That one's cracked into center field, left center, and Foster will have to cut that one off. Coming in to score is Wilkinson, so that'll be the first run of the game. Is on with a single as Luke Keischel, WCC Rookie of the Year, gets on with an RBI.
Yeah, records his 9th run batted in of the year there. Cracked that one just in front of Darius Foster, racing over towards left center, looking to make that play on his teammate.
Right.
Instead, bounces down, and it's the first run of the game.
Well, as I was going to touch on before the RBI single, one of my teachers was the gym teacher. His name was Mr. Walker, and he played for that team that went undefeated, and we were just looking at all the accolades and stuff. Phenomenal teacher. One kook, though, I will say that. Very great gym teacher, but he was crazy. In a good way, though.
Aren't all the best.
Absolutely. There's a strike in there to Mr. Michael Morale, who has the only other hit in this game. But, yeah, and I was going to say the quote for Father Kenny was, there may have been more talent, but there's never been a better team, as that's looped into shallow right and have to play that on a hop is Matt Thomas, and rounding second inning for third is Keischel. He'll get in there as the throw is cut off by the shortstop, Austin Gauthier. So consecutive base hits on Kyle Robinson's ledger after retiring a couple via the strikeout, and Carson Keithley's up.
Not quite a hit and run there from Morale and Keischel, but again, good execution with the wheels from Luke Keischel as he motors around second base, gets down 90 feet away from being the second run of the game here for Gaithersburg.
Right, Carson Keithley up now. Held in check tonight after leading the league in batting average. But yeah, there's never been more there may have been more talent, but there has never been a better team, which is a phenomenal quote from a high school baseball coach in the 70s.
Absolutely. This team's starting to look pretty good here, looking to close the door on a scoring opportunity for Gaithersburg here.
Right, 2 outs.
Top of the 6th.
1-0 from Kyle Robinson to Keithley. Swings and misses coming up empty, and it's 1-1. And we'll see who the next pitcher is.
Sure.
For Bethesda, we've been told
Matt Thomas and Danny Nerai will be looking for this big train pitching staff to shut down Keithley as much as possible and inch their way back towards the batting average leads.
It's outside 2-1. Yeah, Thomas just trying to get that.
Comes in at 425. Nerai, of course, doesn't qualify with just 15 at-bats so far this season, but a mammoth 533 for him.
He should qualify eventually as the season starts to drag on. And swing and a miss there, and it's 2 strikes, so a big, hefty, heavy cut there from Mr. Carson Keithley, trying to
traffic circle approaching for Kyle Robinson.
Trying to beef up his batting average here is Ben. I am not even going to acknowledge that. It's outside, and it's 3-2. You know what? I probably will. Ben, I don't understand it. I don't know what your infatuation is with this striking out the side thing. You got to do it in 3.
It needles you, and that's what my obsession is with it.
All right, so strikes out the side in order is the way I see it.
Here's the 3-2 pitch from Robinson. Runner goes. It's fouled back into the screen.
Hey, you're not doing play-by-play tonight, Ben.
Well, clearly you're not either.
Well, I have been for the past 6 innings. So plane flies overhead. A couple of planes fly overhead. Not quite the flight paths that fly over Citi Field in New York. It used to be LaGuardia and JFK Airport, which Ben has had some good times at, I've been told, as there's ball 4 and the bases are loaded. You're not going to acknowledge the JFK Airport?
I'd rather not.
Well, at least, okay, give us. I want to know what your least bad experiences, I guess, if you can say
At
that.
JFK,
Yeah.
I've only had bad experiences there because I've only flown
What-
in or
what is
out.
the
I've only
least-
flown in and out once each.
Oh, but I mean, okay. So what was part of the bad experience then?
So first time, the connecting flight. Why are we starting this story with 2 hours?
Fouls back and ding, ding.
Heads up.
Winner, chicken dinner for Mr. Tyler DiMartino as he hits the post. And
First time flying out of JFK. The plane, the equipment that was supposed to be our flight out, never arrived from Chicago. There was some sort of storm in between Chicago and New York, and we
Okay.
never got the plane. So the flight was canceled. Basically sitting in JFK for 6 hours waiting for the flight. Doesn't end up coming. Gets delayed, then gets canceled, and so we have to stay in a hotel overnight, come back to JFK, and do it all again the next day.
oh man, 0-1 here from Robinson is right down the middle for strike two. But I can't say. I feel like the worst airport I've had experiences at is Philadelphia. I just
Philadelphia.
it perfectly embodies the city, in just that it is garbage. Fouled back right at us, but into the screen instead, and so on too. I wouldn't say the whole
And then
city of
just-
Philadelphia is garbage. But
Just to wrap up, coming back on that same trip into JFK, sat on the tarmac for 4 hours because a guy passed out drunk and there was a medical emergency. Had to call an ambulance.
I do like watching baseball games in Philadelphia, though. I'll say that. It's outside 1 and 2. The sports complex is really nice with Wells Fargo. I played on Wells Fargo in high school. The lights were phenomenally bright.
Well, it wasn't Wells Fargo at that point, I don't think.
No, it was. It was.
I thought it was still Comcast Center.
It was never the Comcast Center. It was Wachovia Spectrum. or
Wachovia.
Wachovia Center. So there's strike three in the dirt and no need to throw down. As it's another strikeout as the big train. A couple runs or one run comes across on a couple of hits, but they still lead at 7-1. We'll have you back for the bottom half of the sixth. Due up for the big train. Gauthier, Thomas, and Pepe here on Big Train TV.
1 in 10,000 children are born with a brain malformation known as Dandy-Walker syndrome. Dandy-Walker can cause enlargement of the skull, lack of muscle control, and other developmental challenges. More research is needed, but we do know that early therapy helps many live healthier, fuller lives. 1 in 10,000 may not seem like a lot unless your child is the one. Learn more, find help, and help others. Visit dandy-walker.org.
Austin Gauthier to lead off here for the big train and against Derek Ivey in his second inning of work. 7 runs and 10 hits and doing a little shindig out of the way there is Austin Gauthier, that pitch.
Well, jump and jive. Get out the way.
Big 3-1 like Mike Piazza, looking to swing like him here. The 1-0 does take a big swing and misses, and it's 1-1.
Close.
I would have loved to be alive to witness Mike Piazza during his prime on the Mets.
I think so. I do think because Piazza was my mom's favorite player.
Yeah.
I have a bobblehead of him on my desk. I think the one time I went to Shea, we did get to see Piazza.
Well, that's good as that's low, and it's 2-1. Mike Piazza, I mean, just majestic fly balls in every sense of the word for his home runs. Really carried the Mets in a dark time for at least a year, and then they got into the playoffs, and then started to fade a little bit as the new kids came in, Reyes and Wright. 3-1 here to Austin Gauthier. 3-1 to 3-1. How about that?
What a coincidence.
Here's the pitch from Ivy. Gauthier fouls it back, and Ben lost his lunch there.
Just on the ready. Staying alive.
Always got to be ready. In action right now, Montreal Canadiens taking on the Vegas Golden Knights. Game 6. Surprise, Canadiens leading that series. That's fouled back and out of play again. 1-1 with 1:50 remaining in the first period of that game.
It's an elimination game for Vegas, is it not?
Love that.
Yeah, fantastic elimination game to stay alive for the Islanders last night.
The Islanders, good old Nassau Coliseum, 3-2, taking ball 4, and Gauthier is aboard.
Yeah, great job to check his swing there. Thought about it, started the swing, but that bat never really got around, never even got close to getting around. And a good take there for Gauthier to work the walk, and he's on base. Third time tonight. Really effective couple turns at the plate for Gauthier tonight. A single, 2 RBIs, and now 2 walks.
So Matt Thomas is 1 for 3 today with a double. Would love to chase in a run here with one swing of the bat. Nearly cleared the center field batter's eye.
We'd have a much better view of it this time around.
Yeah.
Sun has settled behind those right center field trees.
Checking
Still
Derek
pretty
Ivy.
blue sky for nearly 9 o'clock.
Absolutely. Game is really chugging along here. Just an hour and 52 minutes in as we play in the 6th.
Hour and 51 minutes. First pitch 7:02 by my watch.
7:03 by my watch.
I trust your watch more than mine. Because I wasn't looking at my watch. I just did some quick math.
0-1 breaking ball. Nasty pitch there from
Yeah.
Ivy, and it's 0-2.
That's that curve I think we've been talking about through the last inning or so now. And Ivy really, again, starting that one up inside and just bottoming out on Thomas and other batters.
So the 0-2 here to Matt Thomas, who has been tough to strike out a bit this year as he strikes out there. So that's the second time he's done it tonight. So I'll eat my words as it's the first out of the inning. And now standing in is Rocco Pepe, who's got a pair of singles and a walk, and he came around to score on the second one.
Picking up again right where he left off with that fantastic night last night down in D.C.
Yeah, bats traveled back north a little bit. Not too far north. Bat traveled north for Rocco Pepe, who hit a wall scraper his first time up and then sent one into the D.C. night.
And some absurd season numbers as well. Just over 400 batting, 9 extra base hits, 20 runs scored.
See, as that one bends in there for a strike, and it's 0-1. Looking to send one back to Long Beach State. Cross country.
Looking to gift wrap one for his father, Len. Celebrated his birthday last night. Rocco in style with 2 home runs.
0-1 as he cranks that one down the first base side, and that's going to go into the tarp area. The tarp that apparently does not cover this field,
Yeah.
which is just crazy to me. You know, I just don't understand how you have a tarp and can't use it. But that's a story for another day. Another rain delay, maybe.
Areas around first, second, and third have all filled in nicely since they were underwater Monday night.
Very large rainstorm. 0-2 here to Pepe nonetheless. That's high, ball 1.
Some spur-of-the-moment kayaking ready to happen at Cabin John Regional
You know,
Park
I was
that
ready
night.
for some content. I was ready to run to center field and back in the rain. They wouldn't let me, though. They said it would mess up the field, and I understand that. I was already wet, so couldn't really get more wet. 1-2 here. Breaking ball hammered down the left field line and out of play.
Yeah, and both of those balls, Pepe has really laced down the left field line. It's been a little early on. He's jumpy. He's ready to trigger that big cut of his
Pepe's
And
still, looking
lace
searching
one.
for his first home run.
Yeah, home squared run.
Does that cancel out since it's, PEMDAS?
I don't know. You're asking the wrong guy about mathematical operations.
Breaking ball up and in. 2-2. Did not break that much. So looks like we got some action up at the Big Train bullpen. We'll see who's up next. My money's on Matt Howitt, who hasn't pitched in a couple of days and has been a revelation out of the pen thus far. 2 ERA. Here's the pitch. Pepe hits one high and deep to center field, but playable for the center fielder Martinez. He settles under it this time and makes the catch for the second out.
Yeah, again, straight to the deepest part of this park for Rocco Pepe. A couple other ballparks that might be a home run in, including the one that he seems to enjoy so much. 365 to center field in D.C. last night. Probably good 360 under that one, but it settles into Martinez's glove for the second out of this inning and bringing up the designated hitter, Kemp Alderman.
So here's Mr. Unlucky, Kemp Alderman, who's run into some tough outs recently, been robbed a couple of times. Today he lined out to left. That ball gets away, and going down to second base is Austin Gawther, who's still on first base until that moment. Alderman, ran into some tough outs here in this game, especially in this game. Flew out to left on a nice play by Keithley. One 1-0 as they call time. Let's see. I think, is that a baseball out there in the field? Or? Oh, yeah, bullpen. Sailed over the bullpen fence.
Oh my God, it made it all the way there?
I wonder who was throwing out there in the bullpen and then went all the way into left field.
Huh.
It is a very big bullpen, too.
I mean, that's the one con of the situation of that bullpen, where it is throwing back towards the field. I think at some point they'd
Alderman fouls it back, and that one had the best chance of getting to us.
potentially rearrange that, maybe endanger some tennis players rather than the game going on behind the bullpen. There's plenty of fencing around the tennis area to our left here at Cabin John Regional Park. Plenty of protection for them.
Whole field is blocked off. Tomorrow night we'll be in action in Alexandria for the first time. 6:30 first pitch is scheduled for. Ben is on the call of that one. We'll have a new face in the booth soon as Alderman ropes one down the left field line, but foul and out of play.
Yeah, just pulled there.
So Ben will be taking sabbatical for 2 days when we do have one off day, as I will be heading to the Mets-Nationals game in D.C. But Ben will be heading to Saint Louis. And Dylan Spilko will be assuming his role for that game.
Thought it was going to be 2 consecutive off days, but I guess wishful thinking on my part.
Rain is a fickle being.
Cares not for booked flights.
1-2. Here now to Alderman. And he swings and misses strike 3. He gets away. Alderman going to try to beat it out first base. Sliding for that ball is Morale, and he throws him out in first. So a 2-3 put out on the strikeout as the Big Train are done here in the bottom of the 6th. They still lead at 7-1. We'll have you back here on Big Train TV for the top half of the 7th, here on Big Train TV. New pitcher for Bethesda, and it's Ryan Daugherty on the mound. He's in for his third appearance of the season. Has pitched pretty admirably. While that whip is a bit high, he hasn't allowed any hits thus far in his 1 1/3 innings pitched. He struck out 4 as well. The lefty sets and delivers for the first pitch to Eddie Lavelle, the first baseman. It's outside ball 1.
Yeah, Daugherty, 2 very different outings for him.
It's also been a tale of 2 seasons for Daugherty.
Yeah, I mean, it was a tale of 2 seasons when he was the designated hitter when needed.
It's outside ball 2.
But for him, 2 outings coming into tonight. The first one was 1/3 of an inning, 3 walks, no runs issued. Zach Locke came in. Actually, either Zach Locke or Cooper Rons came in and helped shut the door on that.
So there's ball 3 now, and it's 3-0.
And the second one was 1 perfect inning, 3 strikeouts. Would you say he struck out the side? Yes.
Because he struck out the side in order.
Okay.
So there's a strike in there. No, he did not actually, because he walked a batter, I believe, in that inning.
Don't think so.
Well,
I'll double check, but I don't think so.
his first strike pours in there from Ryan Daugherty out of St. Mary's of California. He sets and delivers. High pop up into left field, hoping for a play is Gauthier on the run, and he bobbled the ball, and he'll fire it into second base. Smart play there from Gauthier. We'll see if that goes as an error, but that was a long way to run for Gauthier, and he had the legs moving. But unfortunately, I believe that's going to go as an error for Bethesda.
Yeah, indeed it is. And that's an interesting play. Not as much because of the fact that he, ended up dropping the ball. I just don't think that he had the best angle on it. Obviously able to get under it. I wonder if Foster at full speed would have been able to get under that one. Slowed down a little bit, I think, when he saw Gauthier hustling over.
Tries to show bunt. The back pick on first base is not in time. So 1-0 from Ryan Daugherty. Pepe charging hard at third base. But yeah, tough play for Gauthier to make regardless. He had to run that ball down. So there's another ball, and it's 2-0. Ben, why don't we take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard soon?
Sure thing.
2-0. Chop down the right field side and out of play.
You want it, you got it. Silver Spring, Tacoma, trying to get up out of the cellar of the CRCBL, leading 5-4 over DC. Those two half game back, 4-8 for DC, 2-9 for Silver Spring, Tacoma.
So there's a strike there, and it's 2-1.
That game in the top of the 8th, Silver Spring at DC. And the other game in action, South County making the short trip up to Alexandria. And they have a 12-6 lead in the bottom of the 6th with the Aces up at the plate.
Grounded towards the hole, a base hit there for Tyler Martinez as 2 runners are now on quickly, and that's the first hit that Ryan Daugherty's allowed all season.
Yeah.
South County, of course, that game that was supposed to happen the other night is rescheduled for the 29th, and it'll be back-to-back games against South County. One in Lorton and one here in Bethesda that will round out the month of June. Silver Spring, DC, and South County, Alexandria all round out the month. Showing bunt there was Wilkinson, but not offering. And it's 1-0.
Yeah, interesting game down in Alexandria. Started out 6-5 or 6-1. Alexandria outscored the Braves 4-1 in the first, then added 2 more in the second. And South County put up a 5 spot in the third inning to take the lead and hasn't looked back since.
Has not looked back to his right. Daugherty delivers a pitch. He shows bunt. It's popped up. And he'll go to third and get the force. And he's out. Nice heads-up play for Daugherty to get the lead runner. So fielder's choice on that. There's 3-5 put out. And everybody else moves up a base. Sacrifice bunt does not work as planned. Bunt ground out. Fielder's choice from Dylan Wilkinson. And that'll turn the batting order over for Dom Regazzo, who struck out twice and grounded out in his 3 trips to the plate.
Yeah, I'm sure Wilkinson is just happy to be on base via something other than a hit by pitch.
Very painful afternoon and evening.
A sentiment shared at times throughout the season by our very own Rocco Pepe.
Hey, Rocco Pepe's like, get on my level, kid. First pitch. It's up high, ball 1. Big Train leading the standings right now by a wide margin.
3.5 games over Alexandria. 4 over the Giants here.
Runners go, and that gets away from Nip, and he can't throw it anywhere. So, stolen base by Tyler Martinez.
Yeah, Wilkinson will hold it first. Runners on the corners. We'll see if he tries to make a move. Maybe to tempt a throw, get that run home from third.
Didn't want to get too big for his britches there. That's fouled back in. Out of play. Out front of Povich Field, where the Big Train lead at 7-1 here in the top half of the 7th inning. Scored 3 runs back-to-back innings and 1 before that, before putting up a 0 last one, and that's how the score stands. They've got 10 hits to the Gaithersburg Giants 4, looking to lengthen their lead on the division here.
A lot of action in the MLB as well in the out-of-town scoreboard. 5-0 Nationals over the Marlins, top of the 6th in Miami. Orioles down big to the Blue Jays in Toronto, or actually Buffalo, 9-0 bottom 5. Braves losing to the Reds 2-1, top of the 6th. Game with some wild card and divisional standings.
There's a hefty swing and a miss there from Regazzo, and it's 2-2.
Good game in the AL East. Red Sox at Tampa Bay, 0-0 at top of the 7th. Pitchers duel there.
Getting no hit or the Rays?
Yes, they are. 1 error by Tampa Bay, just 3 hits for Boston.
Now, who's on the mound for?
I'll check.
So that's up high,
Thompson,
and the count runs full.
Thompson on the bump for Tampa Bay right now with the Red Sox at the plate. Nick Pivetta.
Wow.
Through 6 no-hit innings, 8 strikeouts, 2 walks
my,
allowed.
Buddies back home called him Cy Pivetta when he was on the Phillies because he was so bad. That's up the middle, off the pitcher's mound. Takes a funky hop, the second for 1, and back to first. And how about that double play? Wow, I have never seen that in my attendance at the ballpark.
Stunned and speechless in the hole, or on deck, was Dusty Mercer just watching that play. Absolutely could not believe what he saw.
Bewildered
and
is the
Dylan
word.
Wilkinson walking off stunned as well.
Yeah, bewildered is the word for that one there, as the ball was hit off the mound and was headed for up the middle, and then took a weird redirection, a ricochet, and right to the second baseman, Velasquez, who flipped it to second, or took it over to second for 1, back to first for the double play. We'll have you back here for the bottom half of the 7th here on Big Train TV. It's time to Jack Slade, who was on the concourse earlier, takes over on the mound for the Gaithersburg Giants after Ivy pitched a couple of innings. He gave up 3 runs, nothing else. Put up a 0 the last one. We'll see what Slade is up to here on the mound.
McLean native, 6'2", righty, rising senior at West Chester.
So Nip comes up empty, fouled into the... Made a nice defensive effort there from Morale. I believe that's Morale still behind the plate. Unless that's 25 and not 35, but...
Pretty sure you're right.
0-1 here from Slade.
Long windup for Slade.
Bounces.
A lot of moving parts in that one. Gets the hand set, drops the hands low, then brings the leg up, kicks, and winds back towards the dish.
Yeah, and you won't see him working from the stretch here.
Not yet. See
Top
what happens
foul
in this inning, but certainly hope that his windup gets significantly shorter with a runner on base, especially against a run-happy team such as this one.
We'll have to see if Doherty's done on the mound and if Matt Howitt comes in for the 8th. And then maybe they'll turn it over for Rons for the 9th. Chop to third base. One hopper there for Wilkinson. The long throw over and gets there in time. He's had a phenomenal outing out there at third base.
Yeah, a couple of tough plays, couple plays that haven't necessarily gone his way, but a couple of really nice plays. That one from way back in the hot corner hole, firing it over the first out of this one.
Throwing from the parking lot was Don Wilkinson.
Throwing from the tennis courts.
It's Dylan Wilkinson. Throwing from the tennis courts here. Don Wilkinson, of course, character in the TV show The Blacklist.
You were talking about that the other night.
Good show. Phenomenal show. So one quick out here for Slade. And Velasquez, the birthday boy, it's one high and into foul territory. We'll see several kids run for it.
On the hop. Nice snag there.
Couple of kids running out there. Velasquez, of course, has had now a happier birthday as he doubled in a run his last time up.
Came around to score as well.
In the 5th inning. And they're leading by 6. So that bounces in there, and it's 1-1 to the guy that wears number 3 out of St. Mary's. Another Gale on this team. His counterpart, Ryan Dougherty, just pitched a scoreless inning.
An eventful scoreless inning.
Yeah, that double play was something else.
One of the weirdest plays we've seen this year. Right up with the catcher's interference double play.
Yeah,
back at Gaithersburg.
And Grant Nip not touching first base.
Yes. I think that one probably gets a little underrated in weirdness just because we didn't exactly see it happen. As we have some fans down the first base grandstand trying to start the wave. Thankfully unsuccessful yet.
Yeah, the wave is, there's no place for that.
Don't need it with this great atmosphere here at Povich Field.
Yeah, pretty solid crowd on hand.
Staunch anti-wave. Couple of guys up here in the Danny Walker Alliance broadcast
Another one
booth.
in the pitching staff for the New York Mets as well. Noah Syndergaard, not a huge fan of the wave. 2-2.
Always knew I liked Thor.
It's inside, got him looking, and strike 3 called. So 2 quick outs here
Dropped
for Jack
everything.
Slade.
The ball, the mitt, everything on the dirt for Morale. Bare hands that one to tag out Velasquez.
Some dirty laundry out there on the field as Nolan Shawnuel comes up, and he's 2 for 3 today with a long home run.
And a couple RBIs as well. 3 on the day, up to 14 on the season. He's had a couple really good games at the dish back-to-back now.
Finally heating up a little bit at the plate after getting some helpful runs. That's off the pitcher and ricochets to, but not in time. Shawnuel is then now the concern is for the pitcher Slade, who looks to be
just fine, hobbling off a little bit. He and Wilkinson can get together
see
and
now if
work through their.
If Keishel makes that play, it's a 1-4-3
Yeah.
put out.
1-4-3 via the pitcher's foot. Nice sliding stop in the second base hole there for Keishel to stop that one from being an easy single for Sean Ewell.
Darius Foster now, who's singled a couple of times, reached all 3 times he's been up to the plate. Seen some funky hits in this game. Of course, that double play will never get old. The weird ricochet off the mound. So it's in there for a strike, and it's 0-1.
How about the bottom of this Big Train order tonight?
Really?
6 out of the 7 runs have been produced by batters 6 through 9.
Yeah,
Nip
really.
has scored twice. Velasquez scored once. Sean Ewell scored once. And Foster has scored twice.
Yeah, really shouldering the load
Pepe,
here on offense for Bethesda. But Pepe, of course, has had a big night as well, as you were about to say, I'm sure.
I was going to say he's the only one above that to come home, come all the way around the bases. But as you said, a big night for him at the plate as well. Not as big as last night. Tough to live up to a 2-home run, 5 RBI outing to DC.
Slade checks over on the runner. Sean Ewell at first base, who's hit a couple up the middle today. And, of course, the home run he sent into the atmosphere. A deleted baseball. 1-1 now to Foster. Taken for a ball, and it's 2-1. Big Train leading 7-1 here at Povich Field. They're looking to extend their record to 13-2 after a phenomenal start to the season. Looking to win 13-15 to start it. So there's 2 outs here and a 1-2 count to Darius Foster in the bottom of the 7th. See who's on the mound for the Big Train when we come back for the top of the 8th. Foster tops that one foul again. And it's 2-2. Or excuse me, 1-2. The 2-2 and 2 outs here to Darius Foster, who's put a couple of singles in play. Of course, laced one up the middle. The offering from Slade is on its way. Here's the pitch. Again, choking up on that bat and ripping it into the screen. .920 here in Bethesda, Maryland. Those watching California, it's a different time for them. Two and two offering once more. They'll do it again. Jack Slade just looking to get out of it after taking one off the leg. And gets Foster swinging, and that'll do it for the Big Train as they don't get any runs across. They still lead it 7-1 as we head to the top of the 8th here on Big Train TV. Settling into the late innings here on Big Train TV as Cooper Rons takes over on the mound, late inning reliever. Is it safe to say, up the middle base hit and a nice diving effort there from Velasquez at second, but unable to make the play. Safe to say this game is heading into game over territory, Ben. Not quite, as we're here in the 8th inning, obviously, and still a lot of game left, but it is there.
Yeah, and a really good opportunity for Rons. Expect him to get the last 6, or to try to get the last 6 outs.
And we'll see what music plays for him in his second inning.
Had some Joker and the Thief warming him up.
That's laced into right field. That's going to be a base hit. That's going to go all the way back to the wall and probably score one. Chugging around second and heading for third is Keishel. He's going to get in there without a throw. So an RBI triple scores Dusty Mercer and 7-2.
Yeah, and both of those really hit to the exact same part, or the exact same area of right center field. Keishel's obviously had a little more juice on it as it bounced in the outfield and rolled all the way to the wall. Keishel, the freshman All-American, freshman of the year out west, able to motor his way for a 3-bagger.
Just the second run.
Second RBI of the game.
So that's
He's driven in
to
both of them.
Short, that should get a run in. And high throw. And getting aboard on the throw is Michael Morales. So a run comes in to score. And things are not going swimmingly here for Cooper Rons. He allows his second and third runs of the season. As things start to get a bit testy here. We'll see Matt Howitt trot out to the bullpen. So maybe saving him for the last inning. We'll see if Rons can settle in here and get still a 4-run lead for Bethesda with a runner on first. It is an error on the short. And that's looped into left field. That's going to be caught by Foster. Phenomenal catch out there. Tagging is the runner, and he is out. So I've been told Foster trapped the ball. And so the runner will be out at second as he's forced. But it was a nice effort to get that ball regardless for Darius Foster, even if he didn't catch it. A tough sliding play he had to make. And the runner is out, but safe at first base. I thought Foster made that play, but I guess not. So a good out to get for Rons.
Morale had to stay on the first base bag like he was ready to tag. And Foster came up with it pretty quickly, able to gun him down at second base.
Swinging strike there, and it's 0-2. Rons has had some loud contact on him in this inning.
Keithley taking that one the other way to left center field.
So a very rare 7-4 putout from left field.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen that one before.
Fielder's choice, regardless. 7-4. You will never see that again. Unless it's a double play turn. I thought that would have been phenomenal if it was a double play. But either way, good heads-up throw by Darius Foster to get that. Fouled off the mask, I believe, of the home plate umpire.
Either the home plate umpire or Nip behind the dish. Rons out of Santa Barbara looking to settle in.
2 runs are across in this inning for Gaithersburg. So there's a ball up high, and it's 2-2. Just the 1 out for Rons. We'll see if he's on for second inning. He's been greeted rudely thus far.
And as you said, just 1 Ron allowed on the year coming into tonight.
There's a big swing and a miss, strike 3. Foul tipped into the mitt of Nip, and well, I guess he dropped the ball. I thought he held on to it. I don't
think he caught it and then dropped it. So it's going to be a catch rule like in the NFL. They're going to have to discuss whether Nip was making a football move as he came up to transfer that one from glove to hand, and it looks like they're going to say he caught it and then trying to transfer it on the throw down to Pepe. He did indeed catch it and then lost it, like I said, trying to get that ball to his hand to throw down.
It's the second consecutive strikeout for Eddie Lavelle, for Tyler DiMartino at the plate. Lavelle up now.
And both Strikeouts with a little after events. A put out by Nip, simply at the tap on the plate with the force from third.
It's outside ball 2. Yeah, 2U strikeout.
But as we said for Ron's, 3 innings of work coming into tonight, just 2 hits allowed.
It runs with a 1.03 ERA coming into tonight. He's allowed a couple more in 8 2/3 innings.
3 hits.
You were looking at Mr. Guffey's stats over there, Ben.
We got a little twisted and tied up, but
Sorry, I
10
made a mistake earlier
strikeouts
this
for
inning.
Cooper Ron's. 0.69, a very nice whip for him so far.
We all mess up sometimes, Ben. It's okay. I did a mere 2 minutes ago. It's outside ball 4, so another runner on, and Ron's not hitting his spots in this inning. 7-4 fielder's choice from left field. The most bizarre fielder's choice we will probably see this season.
Almost as bizarre as that 8-5 put out on Jack Cohn a couple nights ago. Eddie Lavelle has quietly worked himself a very nice game. 0 for 1. Reached on 2 walks.
Grounded to third,
An error.
and he'll just get the force. It's an unassisted put out for the third baseman, Rocco Pepe. We head to the bottom of the 8th with the big train due up here. Top of the order coming up. Cone, Gauthier, Thomas when we come back on Big Train TV.
1 in 10,000 children are born with a brain malformation known as Dandy-Walker syndrome. Dandy-Walker can cause enlargement of the skull, lack of muscle control, and other developmental challenges. More research is needed, but we do know that early therapy helps many live healthier, fuller lives. 1 in 10,000 may not seem like a lot unless your child is the one. Learn more, find help, and help others. Visit dandy-walker.org.
Makeshift leadoff hitter Jack Cohn stands in here. I guess paper mache leadoff hitter, if you want to call it that. Inserted into the lineup after Riley Johnson departed. We're not sure why. Maybe getting the rest of the night off. After
He's played a couple games
Yeah.
back to back. Again,
dealing with
recent.
Slade as Cohn bounces one to first base. Going to be a tough play regardless, and he doesn't beat it out. So a 3-1 put out to start off this inning, and it would behoove the big train to get a couple of insurance runs to make it an easier 9th inning for Cooper Rons. We'll see if he's out here again or if Matt Howitt is the new pitcher.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see what happens there.
So Austin Gauthier up now. Gauthier tonight singled, walked twice, and sacrificed fly, so he's 1 for 1. Pretty good line with a couple of ribbies. Ribeye steaks, 2 of them tonight. First pitch to Gauthier, right down the middle, strike 1 from Slade. That gets away, and it's going to be a ball. 1-1. Right down the middle again, and it's 1-2. Slade pumping some heat here. As he deals with Gauthier. 1-for-1 line, looking to make that 2-for-2 here. As there's a ball up high, and it's now it's 2-2. You know, I've made a suggestion for the 9th inning music. Hopefully it plays here if Ron gets a second inning. And there's strike 3 called on Gauthier as he's down looking for the second out.
Yeah, tough call there for Gauthier. Good pitch from
Looks like Brady
Slade.
Gump is going to pinch hit for Matt Thomas here as he'll let you finish your point as well.
Yeah, just saying it's a tough take.
So Thomas gets the rest of the night off as Brady Gump comes in. Gump, of course, had a pinch hit home run last night.
Yeah, I was just going to say, looking to continue the same run of pinch hit success he had last night. Very loud, big fly for 2-0.
Crushed it into the DC night and got overshadowed by the night that Pepe had as he bounces one to shortstop. Here's Regazzo bobbling it, but still has enough time to make the play and fires him out at first base. Great play there by Regazzo to bend but not break. Big Train down 1-2-3 here in the 8th. We head to the top of the 9th with Cooper Ron's out for another inning of work. We'll see you here for that on Big Train TV. It's not Trevor time, but Hell's Bells is playing here at Povich Field as Wilkinson faces Rons for his second inning of work. He fouls it down the left field line, and great choice of song for the 9th inning. Close game in the 9th. Love that.
You know, Tyler, if this whole broadcasting thing doesn't work out for you, you've always got to back up in stadium DJing.
Yes, that is correct, but I feel like I would mess that up somehow. That's why I'm in here and not
Life
out there running.
finds a way.
Hell's Bells,
Jeff
perfect for
Goldblum
any
once said.
perfect for any closer, late inning reliever. So that's again a strike, and it's now 1-1. Or excuse me, 1-2 here, I think. Yeah, 1-2, 2-2. They'll get it right somehow. As Wilkinson swings and misses strike 3, and he is retired for the first, or strike 2, excuse me, not retired. I don't know what's happening out there on the scoreboard. Wilkinson sends one deep to right field, but right to Brady Gump for the first out.
Can of corn there off his bat.
He gave it a ride, but it died. So an F9. So Dom Regazzo stands in here. Down to their final 2 outs are the Gaithersburg Giants from falling a bit further out of first place or second place. As he hits one deep to center field. Going back is the right fielder Gump on the track at the wall. It's gone! Dom Regazzo goes deep, and the Big Train have made this a 3-run game. Excuse me, the Giants have, as Dom Ragazzo, Silesianum power, puts one over the right center field fence. And the leadoff hitter, who usually uses his speed, shows some power.
Gets to use his speed on a home run trot all the way around there. And, you know, Jesse Frawley's mentality that he preaches to his team is Giants never quit, and they certainly have not given up in the late innings of that one. Crawled and scratched their way back into this one. 2 in the 8th, now 1 here in the 9th. And it's a 3-run ball game.
And, Ben, you blinked 2 quick strikes here on the hitter, Dusty Mercer. So
Right.
Ragazzo put a charge into that one into right field.
Ron's just looking to come back and get back on pace.
A few home runs. There's a high heat there from Cooper Rons as he strikes him out for the second out, and they are 1 stop away from victory station once more.
Yeah, and that's how you come back. You know, there's a lot of managers, a lot of players, a lot of pitchers that will tell you solo home runs won't kill you. It's, you know, they got the first down on the loud fly out from Wilkinson to Brady Gump now in right.
There's a breaking ball in the dirt, and it's 1-0 to Luke Keischel.
Better to give up a solo shot than a 2-run shot or a 3-run shot. You can work around a solo shot.
That's chopped towards third and foul. I think he's a freshman All-American as well as the co-WCC Rookie of the Year.
Yep. Really
out there.
impressive first season out west with the Dons for Luke Keischel.
7-4 the score.
A pretty good start to this one for Gaithersburg as well.
It's just funny. Cooper Rons is ready to go by the time
Yeah, there's
an inside strike, and
beautiful
that's been a
breaking
strike
ball
all night.
Yeah, beautiful breaking ball on the inside edge there. And 1 strike away now from Rons from working his way through this one. Trying to get this in quickly. There's a lot of pitchers in this Big Train staff that work quickly. Rons might work the quickest.
Clappin starts here at 1-2 as he fouls it back, and we'll do it again. The Clappin starting here at Povich Field. Rons is ready to go as soon as he gets the ball. Picks up a little bit of dirt. He's ready to go. Keischel trying to throw him off a bit.
Almost feels like a sellout here at Povich.
Absolutely.
Really good crowd for a Wednesday night.
Here's the 1-2
Thursday
offering
night. I don't know what day it is.
from Rons. Grounded to short. This should do it. Hop to Gauthier to fire to first in time, and the Big Train win it. 7-4 the final score as they leap in the infield. Pepe and Gauthier and Sean Ewell all converge, and the Big Train have won it 7-4. A home run makes things interesting here in the 9th on Cooper Rons, but he finishes it off, and the Big Train are now 13-2.
Yeah, sound the horn as the train chugs on. 13th win of the year here for the Big Train, and this one not quite as much style as they've had in the past, but they get their 3rd win of the year over the Gaithersburg Giants. 3-1 in the season series right now. And this one, they had to work a little bit more. And I think Sal and Coach G and the rest of this coaching staff will be proud of the way that this team stayed together down the stretch. They probably could have given up 2 or 3 times after some really, good middle inning offensive frames. But like you said, they were able to keep it together and pull on through to a big dub here.
Absolutely big win for the Big Train as they pull to 13-2 and pull way ahead in the first place rankings. Couple of home runs tonight. Of course, Sean Ewell and Nip both went yard. And we will be back here on Big Train TV in just a second for Big Train Postgame. Ben, do you have something to say before we head over there?
Yeah, I'm just going to say, you have to give a lot of credit to this Gaithersburg squad. We talked about kind of their mantra, Giants never quit, and they really didn't quit tonight. They've been one of the teams that's really impressed me so far this season. They missed the playoffs last year, but looking right on pace at 7-6 now. Still a half game back of Alexandria. We haven't seen what's going on down there with South County and Alexandria tonight. But Gaithersburg putting themselves right in position to fight for that 2nd and 3rd spot come playoff time at the end of July.
Absolutely. We'll be right back here on Big Train TV for the postgame. Don't go anywhere.
As we welcome you back here inside the Dandy Walker Lions broadcast booth, Ben Bobek and Tyler Gallo here for Big Train TV. And Tyler, an eventful 7-4 win for the Big Train tonight, but regardless, a win nonetheless.
Absolutely, and there was some events in the later innings, like we haven't seen the bullpen break as much as we've seen in the past. They've just been locked down over these last innings, but Cooper Ron's greeted very rudely in his first inning of work, and came back out and retired the runners and tired all these guys. Don Regazzo went yard to put a charge in this one, but I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at the offense that really put together a few good innings in the middle innings of this game. Home runs from Grant Knipp and Nolan Shanuel in the same inning.
Yeah, those two big flies really stood as the difference down the stretch in this one. For Ron specifically, like you said, a couple hard-hit balls, but he really rebounded nicely in the top of the ninth especially.
Right, and was maybe leaving his pitches over the plate a little bit, and that's why we saw the home run by Regazzo, a guy that did not a power hitter. In the leadoff spot is a guy that's going to get on base, but right there, he put a charge into one like he should be putting on the base pass and gets a home run. And makes this game a little bit closer, but Ron's held on, got a strikeout, and then, of course, a ground out to end it on a pretty nice play by the shortstop Gauthier. The Big Train wins 7-4.
Second home run on the year for Regazzo. Like you said, the final line score presented by Bethesda Magazine here on the Big Train postgame. For the Giants, 4 runs, 6 hits, 1 error, 5 runners left on base. And for the victorious Big Train, 7 runs on 11 hits, 2 errors, and 8 runners left on base. They move to 13-2. Gaithersburg falls to 7-6. Big Train TV will head on the road to Alexandria for the first time tomorrow night, 6:30 p.m. first pitch. Tyler, your performance of the game before we get set to look forward to Alexandria tomorrow night.
Yeah, well, I think it has to go to Nolan Shanuel, home run and a single tonight. 2 singles. He was 3 for 4 and drove in 3 runs. So a very delicious night there at the Ribeye Steak office for Mr. Nolan Shanuel, and he gets my player of the game.
I'm going to go with our other good friend now, Grant Knipp, out of the University of Alabama. Back to the backstop tonight. A couple nights off for him. A little DH, a little pinch hitting action, but back behind the plate tonight. Really good defensive game behind home plate. And for him as well, a solo shot, base on balls, and 2 runs scored.
Yeah, it was just a good game regardless for Grant Knipp. And we said if he gets into one in this season, he'll probably, he'll probably set it over the fence. We saw some good oppo power from him in batting practice, and he showed it tonight. He sent it to the opposite field, goes over the fence, and gets the home run.
This game started at 7:02 p.m., ended at 9:39, 2 hours and 37 minutes. Relatively quick. Tyler, any final thoughts on this one?
Well, I think they just poured some Gatorade on the post-game hero, Nolan Shanuel, out there on the field as Dylan Spilko's out there interviewing. But I'm ready for the first game in Alexandria, one of the last 2 matchups we still don't have, and we'll knock those out this week with DC coming here as well. It was a great game, even if the score doesn't show it too much, but Big Train piled on in the middle innings and then held on for dear life in the late innings.
Of course, you can catch a replay of this full game and every other game this season on the Big Train TV YouTube. For the Gatorade Bath interview with Dylan Spilko and Nolan Shanuel, check out the Twitter at GoBigTrain. And stay tuned here all summer long to get closer to Big Train baseball than ever before. One more time, the final score from Shirley Povich Field. The Big Train 7 and Gaithersburg 4. We'll see you tomorrow night